absolutely.
Firefighters Week continues, and today we are at the Mason Square Fire Station, and we are in a pretty expansive kitchen making a very tasty dish. And we're joined by Frank, firefighter, and frankly, he's a chef. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
You have a beautiful kitchen.
Thank you.
And you're making a big old piece of meat today.
Pork shoulder.
A pork shoulder, and you can get this pretty inexpensively if you
any local store, pretty much.
Yeah,
yes.
and you were saying this is like 99 cents a pound. So
99 to 149. I've seen it around.
So if you know how to do this right, it's a pretty cheap eat.
Yes, good cheap meal that everybody pretty much loves.
So how do we do it? Because it smells really good in here already.
Pretty much, I buy it and I just cut up all the fat.
Okay.
There's different ways to look at it when I buy it. Is I try to look for that fat. It's not so thick here on this side of the pork. And pretty much I'll bring it home, wash it. It's already been washed. Not everyone does, but I make a pocket inside here.
So you kind of peel the skin back for a while?
Exactly. Take a knife in there and slice it in there. And
Okay.
what I do, I'm going to throw some seasonings in there.
Perfect.
And makes it taste even better.
All right, let's get started.
Okay, very good. So first thing I will do, I'm going to start with some salt. Sprinkle some salt inside here, a little bit on the outside.
All right.
All around.
So you want to do all four sides of it?
Exactly, yes.
This is a pretty big. So how many people do you think a piece of meat like this can feed? A bunch?
It could fit depending how hungry they are and how much they like
That's
to
true.
eat.
There's a lot of meat in here, though.
There is a lot. There's a bone in the middle there, which I always check out before I buy the pork. Make sure the bone's not too big, so I can get more meat out of it.
Gotcha.
Also, you did not see, but I made some slices inside. Not everyone does this. I do it because I cover it to steam it up inside, so pretty much it still stays nice and soft and. You'll be able to pretty much shred
and it gives you more of those pockets so that you can put some good stuff in there. Yeah.
Exactly, and I'll show you the ingredients that I'm going to make it and stuff it. So now I'll throw a little bit of salt in there.
All
on
right.
each side, all the way around. I'm not shy with the salt. We love salt, not just because we love it, but
and you know, as firefighters, you're always going out and about, and you're always working, so you can afford to have
exactly. And pretty much it looks like it's a lot, but pretty much it's not a lot. Also, the next thing I'll do, I'll throw some pepper in there.
Okay.
Also, with the salt, I've noticed that I have tried putting less in the past.
Yeah.
And what happens is that a lot of these juices you lose while it's being steamed.
Yeah.
And it takes away all that salt. It just falls back out of the juices.
So you're going to lose a lot of salt anyway, so put extra in it first.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, a little bit inside.
All right, and I like that you're not shy with the pepper either.
No, and it's not. Doesn't really, the pepper's taste is not very strong either.
Yeah?
Once we get done with this.
So salt, pepper,
yep.
adobo?
I throw a little bit of adobo. I won't try to go crazy on the adobo because the salt has adobo on it, but it does give it an extra flavor. And like I said, even though this is a little bit more salt on it, then we do lose a lot of it when it's being steamed up. So pretty much like that.
So you put this in the oven. Does this take a long time in the oven?
You can have one done between 3 and 4 hours.
Okay.
It takes me 7 hours.
Because you slow cook it.
Exactly. Slow cook it. Steam it up first. Uncover it. Put some of those juices over to the side, and then let it dry for about 2 or 3 hours.
Gotcha.
Dry up, and then the skin comes nice and crispy.
We mixed up the sofrito sauce and spread it all over the meat.
So now I'm going to do, this is where they laugh at me, because I'm always...
It would be a weird thing to walk into, you know, if one of your buddies walked in here and saw you doing it. They might laugh at
absolutely,
you.
Absolutely.
I can see it, but it's good tasting, so that's all that really matters.
And another reason that I to rub it is that if sometimes you put salt in the meat, and some areas may taste a little saltier than others. When I make my pork shoulder, I don't have a problem with that because I'm spreading it all over. So now it's evenly coated everywhere.
So from here, this is pretty much done, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I like to do this the day before so it can marinate overnight.
Oh, okay.
If you can do it 2 days before, I've noticed it tastes even better.
All right, yeah, so as ahead of time as possible.
Exactly.
We wrapped the pork in tin foil and put it in the oven for 4 hours. After those 4 hours, we uncovered it and cooked it for 2 more. We then took a walk around the firehouse. The Mason Square Fire Station is one of the only remaining firehouses around with a fire pole, and the house itself was one of the first motorized fire stations in the country. And we're back from our tour of the station and now the finished product. So this was in there for about 4 to 7 hours, somewhere in there?
That's correct. 4 hours was covered, getting steamed up, and then after those 4 hours, took it out, drained the juices. These are the juices that came out of the pork. A couple inches in the pan. Put that on the side and put the pork in there so we can start drying up and so we can get the skin
I was going to say that
nice and crispy.
You hear that skin, it's so crispy. And I wish people out there could have seen earlier, when you were taking it off of the pan and into this pan, the bones just fell right off.
Literally just fell off.
Look at that.
This is the way the bone comes out, and this is what people like.
I've never made any food where the bone came off that easily.
Yeah.
So what's the next step to get this to the finished product?
Next step will be, I don't even use any knives. I use 2 forks.
I love it.
And I'm just going to shred this. Shred this. And in a couple of minutes, what you're going to do, those juices, same juices that came out of the pork, you're going to pour them over them.
And now over here too, I mean, it's not just about one dish. We have a second one. We have a rice here.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what's in this rice.
And the rice I start off putting a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan.
Uh-huh.
There's the oil right here. I throw some the Spanish sofrito right here, which is...
there was some of that in the pork too, right?
Exactly. I put some into the pork.
And now there's some beans in here too. What kind of beans
Yes,
are
those are pigeon peas. Pigeon peas.
I've never heard of
pigeon peas. Yeah,
All right.
you find them in the Spanish section also.
So that's pretty much done, and you just start putting some of these fat drippings on top?
Yes. Yep. You just,
all right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got some on. So we got a head start. Makes it even easier. I don't have to do that corner.
Throw it right in the middle.
Frank, thank you so much for letting us into.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
It's amazing to see, you know, a group of people coming together. You live together. You do so much stuff together. So it's important that you make a good meal, and you absolutely did. So if you want more information on any of the recipes or any of the firehouses we featured this week on Mass Appeal, all you have to do is go to mymassappeal.com. Let's dig in.